Colin, Goodell sounds like he's moved on from Deflategate. Do you believe Tom Brady has?
No. Listen, Tom Brady is still motivated by being drafted in the 6th round. And that wasn't even questioning his integrity. That was just questioning his arm. Here's the way it works. I'm not a psychologist, but I know this.
You play one on this show.
I do occasionally.
And you paid enough.
And I know Cris Carter. That's so true. Cruel, but true. But I know, these are my friends, and I know their backstories. And we talk a lot off the air. The chip on the shoulder never leaves. Never. Mine could have come from divorce. Yours could have come from a coach that told you you're not going to make it. Yours could come from wherever it comes from.
Yeah.
And people in this audience, the chip never leaves. Now, when you get older, you can't bench, you can't run, you can't jump. But that willfulness, that drive, he takes it from football to business. You take it from football to broadcasting. Tom Brady is going to be bitter about that when he's 58 and 88.
Colin, you spun me a little bit. I was going to say, no, it's not the motivating factor, but it is still there. I don't think it's number one, though. I think we went into this season with the narrative that was the number one driving Tom Brady this year. When I read the story about his mom's health struggles, and when I see him tearing up about talking about his dad, his mom hasn't come to a game this year, his dad's only been to one. I think we found out there's some deeper motivation going on with Tom Brady as related to his family, dealing with the mortality of your parents. I think he's trying. I can remember when people hate when I reference Jeff George. Jeff George's mother was diagnosed with cancer, and I remember how it drove him.
Buster Douglas, the fight before Mike Tyson. Buster Douglas was an average pedestrian fighter, except one night in, I think, Tokyo.
Yes.
Okay, so there's no... Now, and by the way, I don't think these are bad things.
No, not at all.
I think that anger, I can only speak for me, it works for me. I got some, I like it. It drives me.
You know, it's funny because any true competitor never lets nothing go. Like, it's never let go. Like, I don't care what nobody does to you, right? I'm telling you, I never forget, in the 9th grade, this coach set me up in this drill and had this guy just blast me in this drill, knowing I wasn't ready for it. He just knew I wasn't ready. I'm a skinny kid, 150-something pounds, and he knew I wasn't ready. But his thing about me was he had beef with my uncles. So my uncles, he brought his beef all the way down from my uncles, and he transferred it to me.
And do you remember the code?
I never forgot it. And the day I got up off the ground, and I told him, "You'll remember me." And I quit his freaking football team, and I moved back to my hometown. The bottom line is, when you think about Tom Brady, of course he's going to give us a politically correct word, right? Why wouldn't you? But the moment he was suspended, sitting home for those 4 games, he's sitting there saying, "Wait until I get back. If we win 3 out of these 4, 2 out of these 4, and I get back on this field, I guarantee you we going to the Super Bowl." And then he says, see, so sometimes when you're able to do things and you don't have to speak about it, that's where the gold is. Right? Because now Roger Goodell had to watch him the entire year. He's had to sit back and say, and now we're talking about the same person that's in the MVP races at the same time. Right? So when you talk about motivations, parenting motivations, when you have someone with a sickness of anything like that, that's a hidden motivation because that's emotional. And that's what we saw yesterday, right? When you started talking about his parents, his dad and his mom, what his mom is going through. So, and many prayers out to that. But what's the driving motivation is when people tell you you've done something wrong and you believe that they're 100% wrong.
A lot of my motivation throughout my life came from Buddy Ryan. When Buddy Ryan sat me down Labor Day, 1990, and he told me his wife had a dream. And the dream, she said, Cris Carter's gonna be very successful. Don't cut him, give him a chance. And Buddy Ryan looked me in the eye, told me the dream of his wife, and he told me he couldn't trust me. So my motivation and drive and everything I do is, I'm gonna be dependable, I'm gonna be trustworthy, I'm gonna be early, and also my motivation was, Buddy Ryan won't be right, and his wife will. So for me, any situation I ever got into, being on the field or in my post-career in broadcasting, we've worked at other places.
Yeah.
I knew they weren't right.
Right.
And everything that I do is to make sure that they're not right.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm so dependable today, is because Buddy Ryan told me I wasn't dependable.
Yep.
So every day I put that log on the fire and it gets me going.